Welcome to What is Truth, brought to you by the Southern New Mexico Church of God in Las Cruces, New Mexico. What is Truth is a weekly program which seeks to focus our attention on the truth of God's Word. Now, with this week's lesson, here's Pastor Meyer Stahl.
Welcome to the program. Today we're going to talk about the Day of Atonement. The Jews call it Yom Kippur. Yom means day, and Kippur means a covering. And the Jews all around the world count today, this Day of Atonement, as a very holy day. And they fast the entire day. They fast from sundown the night before to sundown on that particular day. Now that day is coming up very quickly, and we'll give you the date on the Day of Atonement a little later. But we have two very important booklets that we like to share with you. They are absolutely free. The first is Why Do You Observe Sunday? The Bible teaches the observance of the Sabbath. And the second booklet is God's Holy Days. Did you know that God has holy days that reveal His plan of salvation? So God's holy days reveal His plan of salvation. You can have these two booklets. You can have a DVD of this program. Just call the number on the screen. We'll get it right out to you. Now, the question is the Day of Atonement relevant for Christians, or is it just for Jews? We asked that question. We're going to try to answer it from the Bible. So, let's go to the Bible. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 23. And first we're going to look at verse 2. Let's look at verse 2 first. Now, it says here in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 2, it says, "Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feasts of the Lord." I want you to notice that. These are not the feasts of the Jews, feasts of the Hebrews, feasts of the Israelites. These belong to the Lord, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts. And the very first feast is the Sabbath. 6 days shall work be done. But the seventh day, not a seventh day, it says the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest, a holy convocation. You shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. Now let's go down to verse 27, and we're going to see this Day of Atonement. This Day of Atonement in verse 27, it says here, also on the 10th day of the 7th month. The 7th month is a holy month to the Jews. There are 4 holy days in the 7th month period. Now, on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation unto you, and you shall afflict your souls. How do you afflict your souls? Well, by fasting. That's the way you afflict your souls, by fasting. And it says here, and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. Well, there's no temple. We cannot do a offering by fire, but we need to do the other things, the afflicting of our souls, the fasting. It says here in verse 28, and you shall do no work in that same day, For it is a day of atonement, to make atonement for you before the Lord your God. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. Wow. God means what he says here. He takes it very seriously. Verse 30, and whatsoever soul it be that does any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. You shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and you shall afflict your souls, that's fasting, in the 9th day of the month at even. So even means sundown. When the sun goes down, then starts the evening part of the day. At even, from even unto even, this is a 24-hour period, shall you celebrate your Sabbath. Wow. What did Jesus Christ have to say about these holy days, about the Sabbath, the holy days, the laws of God? What did he say that man should do, mankind should do? Let's go to Matthew chapter 4. Matthew chapter 4, and let's look in verse 4. Matthew 4, verse 4. Well, let's drop up verse 2. Start with verse 2. And when he had fasted, Jesus Christ fasted. He fasted for 40 days. I would not recommend that you fast for 40 days. That's quite a bit. And you could even die fasting that long. And 40 nights, and he was afterward a-hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if you be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. Prove it to me. Make bread out of these stones. Now, Jesus Christ was expecting him. That's why he fasted for so long, because Satan has temptations, and it's easy to fall into one of his temptations. But he answered, Jesus answered, and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. Now, notice this man. He didn't say the Jew. He didn't say the Hebrew, the Israelite. He said man, mankind shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. Now, the New Testament wasn't written at this time. There was only the Old Testament. Now, what is Jesus Christ talking about? He's talking about keeping the laws of the Old Testament. He says, think not, Matthew 5:17, think not, I am come to destroy the laws of the prophets. I'm not come to destroy. I came to fulfill them. He fulfilled them by filling them full. That's how he fulfilled them. Let's go now to Colossians chapter 2. Now, Colossians chapter 2, a lot of people use Colossians chapter 2 to try to prove the Passover, the days of these feast days are all done away with. They try to prove that. But actually it proves the exact opposite. It proves that they're still important. Okay, let's go to Colossians 2 and let's look in verse 16. Colossians 2, verse 16. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of a holy day or of the new moon or of the Sabbath days. Now let's hold it right here. This was a Gentile church that never kept any holy days. They didn't keep the Sabbath days previously. And once they were converted, they started keeping them. And Paul is telling them, he didn't say here, don't keep them. He said, let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of a holy day or of the new moon or of the Sabbath days. They were starting to keep it. He didn't want anyone coming in there and upsetting them. Watch what the reason is. Which are a shadow of things to come. But the body is of Christ. Christ is in all of the sacrifices. Christ is in all of the holy days. Christ is in every Sabbath. Christ is in it. So these are shadow of things to come. Now, this Day of Atonement, this Day of Atonement, is going to come soon. I'm going to give you the date after the break so that you have it. And here's the reason why it's important. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 16, and we'll see the reason why it's important to keep these days. Leviticus chapter 16, and we'll read in verse 5. Leviticus 16, verse 5. The high priest could only go into the Holy of Holies on this Day of Atonement. Now this is talking about the Day of Atonement now. And he shall take of the congregation of the children of Israel 2 kids of the goats for a sin offering and 1 ram for a burnt offering. Now remember these 2 goats. Remember them. And Aaron shall offer his bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and his house. And he shall take the 2 goats and present them before the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron shall cast lots upon the 2 goats, 1 lot for the Lord, and the other lot for the scapegoat. And Aaron shall bring the goat upon which the Lord's lot fell, and offer him for a sin offering. Now, let's drop down to verse 15. Verse 15. Then he shall kill the goat of the sin offering, that is for the people, and bring his blood within the veil, and do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it upon the mercy seat and before the mercy seat. So he took the 1 goat and killed the 1 goat. Now what happens to the other goat? This is very interesting. Please don't go away. We're going to explain the 2nd goat. It is very important that you understand. We will be right back.
If you're living with diabetes and have Medicare or private insurance, here are some great news. Call United States Medical Supply today, and we'll send you the smallest glucose meter in the world, absolutely free.
It only takes a speck of blood, and it gives me my results in 5 seconds.
And there's no coding for easier, more accurate results.
Don't let diabetes get in the way of living. Give us a call today at United States Medical Supply and get the smallest meter in the world for free.
Get ready, America! The Affordable Health Care Act is here, and it's got everyone asking, how do I find affordable health insurance that's right for me? The answer is simpler than you think. Pick up the phone and call I Can Benefit right now. Waiting for you is a team of licensed insurance agents who understand healthcare reform and can help you find the right plan to take care of you and your family's health. Don't wait. Call now and get the answers you deserve and a price you'll love.
Call toll-free 1-800-426-2163.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. With one phone call, you'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information. It's a free service, so call now.
Call now, 1-800-908-0987.
Are you being denied the things you want because of bad credit? Say goodbye to bad credit and hello to credit repair. Call the Credit Repair Hotline right now to start the process of repairing your bad credit and improving your credit score. Start rebuilding your credit today and begin working to qualify for the credit card, car, or home you've always wanted. Call now to start the process of repairing your credit. You're going to love how good your credit report can look. Call now.
800-809-1385.
Welcome back to the program. If you'll turn to Leviticus 16, and we're going to look in verse 21, we're going to see what happens to the other goat. This is very important. So I'd like you to make sure that you write it down because you may want to look at it later on. Okay, 21. And Aaron, this is the high priest, whoever's the high priest at the time, shall lay both his hands upon the head of the live goat and confess over him all the iniquities of the children of Israel and all their transgressions in all their sins, putting them upon the head of the goat, and shall send him away by the hand of a fit man. This word is a geber. This is a strong man, because a goat doesn't want to always go the way you want to pull him. So this is a very strong man, into the wilderness, and the goat shall bear upon him all their iniquities unto a land not inhabited, and he shall let go the goat in the wilderness. So the goat goes free. He goes in the wilderness. Who does this picture? The first goat pictures Jesus Christ. First goat pictures Jesus Christ. The priest puts his hands upon him, confesses the sins of Israel, kills him, and offers him for a sacrifice, and sprinkles the blood on the altar. The second goat, he confesses the sins upon the second goat and sends him away into the wilderness alive. Let's look and see who that second goat represents. Let's go to Revelation chapter 20. We got to go to the back of the book to find out the second goat. And here we are in Revelation chapter 20, and we'll look in verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season. I'm going to explain to you why he's going to be loosed for a little season. The second goat represents Satan. The sins are confessed over him. He's sent away into the wilderness. He's alive. He stays alive for a while. Pictures Satan being bound up, put into this bottomless pit, being chained up so he can't cause people to sin anymore. There's going to be a 1,000-year period of peace. Jesus Christ is going to rule over this world, starting out with a 1,000-year period. Now, what's a 1,000-year period have to do with the rest of the ages that we live in? Well, there were 6,000 years. God started with a 6,000 years of man's ruling on the government. Man sets up his own government, sets up his own religion, sets up his own churches, his own financial systems, his own educational systems, and basically God has hands off. Now you see where this has brought us today. We just cannot seem to get out of wars. These wars continue going on. Man's inhumanity to man. Man is killing man. As we're speaking, as you're watching this program, people are dying every moment because of war. We cannot bring the government, we can't bring peace to this government ourselves. We can't do it. We need God to do it. Revelation 12:9, write that down. It's Satan who has deceived the whole world. He has deceived the whole world. Now, did Jesus Christ mention that his disciples would fast? We're going to go back now to Matthew chapter 9. Let's go back to Matthew chapter 9, and we're going to see what Jesus Christ talks about in fasting. Matthew chapter 9, and we shall look at verse 14. Matthew 9, verse 14. Here it is. Then came to him the disciples of John, that's John the Baptist, saying, why do we and the Pharisees fast often, but your disciples fast not? That was a good question they asked him. And Jesus said unto them, can the children of the bride chamber mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? He's the bridegroom. He's going to marry his church. But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken from them. That's after his crucifixion and his resurrection. And then shall they fast. So God's people will be fasting. You see that? They will fast. Now we're going to Matthew chapter 24 while we're in the book of Matthew. And we'll see here Jesus Christ gives signs about when he's coming back. And I'd like you to look at the one sign which is very important, and that would be verse 6. Matthew 24, verse 6. Let's read it. And you shall hear of wars and rumors. That's reports, not just a rumor of a war. Those are reports which are reported by reporters of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Now we're going to drop down to verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation. That's what we're talking about today. There'll be great tribulation, such as what was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. We would wipe ourselves off the map if it hadn't been for Jesus Christ intervening. The Day of Atonement is Saturday, October 4th. Now, if you have never fasted, this would be an excellent time for you to get started. Friday at sundown, when the sun goes down Friday, till Saturday sundown, no food and no water. Now, I fasted when I was a child. Maybe I missed one meal. If that's what you can handle, that's fine. If you can handle the entire day, the entire 24 hours, it would be good to set aside that time for fasting and prayer. Now, we have a Bible study that you're welcome to attend at 1701 East Missouri. Call the number on the screen, 650-7359, for these 2 free booklets. We're happy to give them to you. They're free, they're no charge. If you like a DVD of this program, we'll give you a DVD of this program for free. And all you need to do is call the number on the screen. Now, until next time, this is Meyer Stahl of the Southern New Mexico Church of God, saying goodbye, my friends.
You have been listening to What is Truth with Pastor Meyer Stahl of the Southern New Mexico Church of God, located in Las Cruces, New Mexico. For copies of today's lesson or for more information, call area code 575-650-7359. That's 575-650-7359. Join us next week at this same time for another edition of What is Truth? Until next week, we wish you God's richest blessings.